And then, I don't know, my mom and I had a falling out. And then I moved myself because I was of age. I turned 18. We're skipping like over 5 years here. But that's all it was. Just, the same. A blur because it was just a mess. Your family breaks apart. What do you do? You're older. Everyone copes their own way, goes off on their own to deal. How do you put yourself back together again? And so then I moved back down to the reservation to go to school because I felt like I needed to get away. Like, I shouldn't be the mom. My mom should be the mom. And so I did, and I guess sort of tried to get a breath of air or something. I don't know. I feel like maybe that was a selfish move to do, just to leave my brothers like that. But I couldn't I couldn't do duties that I wasn't even ready for. I didn't even know how to take care of myself. How am I going to take care of three younger boys? So when I left, they were kind of stuck with my mom and her antics and her boyfriends, and I would only come back on the weekends or whenever. And I know it was probably harder the fact that I lived with my father. The reason that all this mess happened, but I felt like I couldn't leave my father even after everything he did. There were parts of me that hated him, the initial anger for him breaking up our family. But I also had to forgive him and just empathize with him. I mean, he was a alcoholic who had PTSD, nightmares, you know, chronic pain. He constantly lived in his stories, especially toward the end of his life. So you kind of have to feel some compassion. And I guess my relationship changed with him. I was always a daddy's girl. And then, he still treated me as such, but he understood that things were different and I was older now. And so he gave me advice about dating, about boys, about myself. Honestly, he admitted he wasn't perfect and all that. And, but here is what I could tell you. Real advice that was realistic. That's a lot of real. But, so then I moved, for high school, I moved back down to Pine Ridge. Because that's where I lived, was raised on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. And I got had all my friends that I grew up with, had a good social life, met a boy, the boy who changed my life forever. And we'll get to that later, like maybe 5 videos later. And I watched my dad, though, go through, his alcoholism. And the times when he was sober, and it would be just me and him, he would tell me about how much he regrets losing his family, how much he misses his sons, his daughters, how much he misses his, ex-wife, how much of a pain it is for him to be with somebody else, how much of a pain it is for him to be alone. And he says, I can't help it with my drinking, I can't help it. I have pain and I use the alcohol to take away that pain. Because at first I never understood why. Why do you have to drink? Why aren't we enough to keep you away from the alcohol? Why do you have to drink? Just straight up, why do you have to drink? But there's so much that's behind an addiction, whether it's psychological pain, physical pain, a fear, something. And he told me, that's what he did. Self-medicate his pain from his body and his memories and the divorce. So that was eye-opening. That really was. That changed my view of him. I didn't hate him anymore. I just felt empathy. I don't want to say felt sorry. Felt sorry for my own dad. That doesn't sound good, but empathy. Yeah, empathy. And then, and everyone was asking me, why do you care about your father? Why would you do that? Why? But after hearing what he told me, opening up like that, how could you still feel hate? How could you still, feel that anger? I mean, yes, there's still a tinge probably for the fact that your whole life has changed and not necessarily for the better at the moment. But, I mean, that was his story. He was a veteran who had PTSD and chronic pain. So that, on one hand, was like maybe a realistic reason on why he drank. But he also had the memories, the flashbacks of him crashing, him in the war, him and losing his family. So that also, I think, drove him just more farther into his drinking. But so I think the part of this is like, I never understood alcoholics or drug addicts or caffeine addicts or any kind of addict. But until I really listened to him, and they always have a story. They have a reason. It may be an easy reason or it may be something way deep down. But they have something that makes them turn to this vice. They have a hole in their heart, a scar, a pain. So if you want to know like why an addict is an addict, you need to ask them. They will tell you, not right away, but they will tell you, because no one wants to hold on to that pain. No one wants to keep it inside. They always want to tell somebody. They're just afraid that you won't understand. So, first part of this is, there's, I don't know. Do I even have a structure to my videos? I don't know. I'm just starting them. I'm trying to get some kind of beginning, middle, and end. I guess this is the beginning, just basically understanding an addict and their reasons why. And maybe it'll help you understand yourself. So, let me know if you have anything to say about it, if you feel the same, or if I'm completely wrong, if I'm stupid. Let me know in the comments. And please like my videos and subscribe and share. And so, thank you. You're awesome. You're strong. You can do it.